Hi everyone, it's good to have you on this episode of Easy Cooking. Today we are going to be making an African delicacy from an African mango seed, which is also called Dika nuts. It's popularly known as Ogbono. It is high in fatty acids, rich in vitamin C and other nutrients. So to make this delicious soup, we're going to be using spinach, stockfish, cow skin, also known as pomo, and for our center, we're using boiled beef. You could decide to use any other protein for your center. I've got my scotch bonnet, bell pepper, onions, all washed and deseeded, ready to be blended. For these are our VVIP ingredients. That is the Dika nuts, Ogbono. It has already been ground with some crayfish. Yes. So straight to the cooking. I've got my pot already on fire. You add some palm oil. Allow the palm oil to get melted and heated up to a reasonable extent. I mean, you don't want your palm oil tasting raw in your soup. So it's best to ensure that the palm oil is melted and heated up to a large extent. Now that I'm sure that my palm oil is well heated, I added my blended peppers and onions and you stir. And then I've just added my stockfish. Some persons would say that would prefer or normally boil their stockfish and the pomo separately. But you know what? That's actually a long thing. Like, you could just ensure that you've washed your stockfish thoroughly. You soak it for a while to make it a bit tender, and then likewise your pomo, you ensure that you washed it thoroughly, and you can just cook both directly and it's still going to taste very nice. So I've poured my pomo and stockfish and mixed them both in the pepper, and I just added seasoning and salt to taste. Having added the seasoning and salt to taste, we stir and you allow to cook for about 4 minutes. One of my lovely sisters just got me this pot. I tell you, this pot does wonders, really. I mean, it drastically reduces the number of minutes you would naturally use to cook. I mean, everything steams up really, really fast. So in less than 4 minutes, this mix was ready. Like, it was really, really cooked. So that's me checking out my sauce. You can see that really boiled up. It's doing all this boo sound, as you can see. And at this point, I'm adding my boiled beef. Like I said earlier, you can decide to use any other protein for your center, and you can also add much more rich inside of it. It depends on how busy you want your soup to be. For me, I just left it at beef, pomo, and stocked fish. Then you stir thoroughly, ensuring that the sauce, that's the pepper and the seasoning, gets soaked into your beef properly. Having stirred all together, then I'm adding water. I ended up adding 2 cups of water, actually, because you want your mix to be very, very watery. The reason is, by the time you add your Ogbono on its own, that's the Dika nut, is a thickening agent. So it thickens up. It's actually used for thickening agent in some meals, really. So on its own, it's a thickening agent. So by the time your watery mix now is properly boiled, and you can already see the sign that it's well boiled and cooked, you stir just to mix everything together again, and then you add your Dika nuts. That's your Ogbono. So I added 1 cooking spoon of Ogbono the first time, and then I stirred. right? Just so I could check the consistency. You will see that after adding one cooking spoon, I already knew that would not do because it's still very much watery. I had not gotten to the consistency that I wanted. And yes, so I added the second spoon, and that will be all. So we've added in total 2 cooking spoons of ogbono, and we stir thoroughly. Look at that. You see that ogbono is already looking very much ready, and it's looking like it. Yeah. So that is the ogbono, well mixed. Cover your pot, allow it to steam up again for a few minutes, and your soup is very much close to being ready. Ooh. So for the garnishing, I added spinach. You know, spinach is for the garnishing, and of course you get more vitamins also from spinach, and it gives your soup a much more interesting look. Yeah, aside the taste, aside the nutrients you're having, it also gives you a much more interesting look. So look at that. You really don't need to wait for your spinach to cook that much, because you don't want it to get decolorized. Yes, our ogbono is ready. What do you like to have your ogbono with? Let me have that in the comments. Please put it in the comments. How do you like to eat your ogbono? Is it with